has said, has there ever been a one-on-one match between Kamala and Abdullah the Butcher?
Not that I've seen. Can you research it real quick?
I actually looked up before we started. I could find
Okay.
some matches with them tagging up together, I think in Japan, but I don't think they've ever gone one-on-one. I may well be wrong, but yes.
You know what? What's that guy's name?
Ron Garner.
You know, Mr. Garner, since you've mentioned it, I would be interested in seeing a match between Abdullah and, who's the guy named?
Kamala or Abdullah.
Oh, Kamala. I would be really interested in seeing that. And Kamala was another guy who was a really, really good guy. Really good guy. And he said he never got paid in WWE like he should have been paid. And I don't know if that's true or not. But it happens to everybody because they don't pay everybody the same because they have different obligations to different guys. So, and we talked about this last week too. The guy could be in second match. You could be the main event, and he could make more than you. So it was a screwed up system, and there's no way to tell what WWE paid somebody else, paid you, because you never saw anybody, and that was strongly encouraged. Do not talk
They
to
found,
any.
they found out somehow. Because they say on that thing on the preview thing, 50,000, and Kamala got 10,000. I thought in the interview he said something like, if I remember, he said, so I seen two interviews. I did a reaction to him a while ago. Taker, maybe I was wrong. It's been a while now. Taker, he said, had $50,000 or something like that. Let's say, for example, and then Kamala only got $1,700 or something like that, or 100,000, and Kamala got 17,000, something like that. And then talking about the merchandise wouldn't sell, but yet those figures, like I said, worth a lot of money and hard to find now. Even some that's not in the package, it's still worth something.
Anybody about your money, and if they heard
I
it,
found
they
out
just fired
somehow. Oh, let me get that back.
Kamala.
Let me get that back. Hold on. What did he say? Shit, hold on.
talk to anybody about your money, and if they heard it, they just fire you.
Oh, okay.
Now, Kamala, just while you were talking then, I had a look. Now, this is... I pretty much wagered this is not true, to at least the point that Kamala's saying. Survivor Series 1992. Business is already falling off. 92 is one of the worst years for the WWF in history. Undertaker versus Kamala in a coffin match. Not a casket match, this was still the coffin match, I think. Kamala claimed that he made $10,000 and the Undertaker made approximately $500,000.
Well, I don't know if he made $500,000. That's a lot of money, even back in those days. But I do believe he could have made 10,000. I was on the first pay-per-view I was on. It was in 1993. All I did was walk to the ring. I didn't have anything, and it was against Davey Boy, and I forgot his partner.
It's Lex Luger.
I made $7,500, I think, for just walking to the ring. And think that Kamala made 10,000. And like I say, but not everybody's pays the same. They wanted to keep Undertaker and push him, and basically, Kamala could do what he wanted to do. He could move on if he wanted to.
Let me give you an example. Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior, a year before at SummerSlam 1991, both were bonused or paid $75,000 each.
Possible.
So there's $500,000 for the Undertaker for Survivor Series. I cannot see that happening.
I can't see that either.
Mm.
That was. I can see that he made a lot more than Kamala. I can see that. I don't think Vince is that generous with some of the guys. I don't care who they are. He's got to make money too.
50 grand, maybe. I can see it. Maybe. He
Maybe.
didn't have his glasses on. He saw an extra zero. Like,
Maybe.
you said
Let me call and ask him. I'm gonna call and ask him.
Who, Kamala?
No.
I'm just
Well,
like,
that'd be good if I could get a hold of Kamala.
hey, that'd be an exclusive, let me tell you.
That would be great podcast stuff. I'll call up Undertaker and ask him.
You said Kamala was a great guy.
Yeah, he was.
Tell the story.
Okay, we're in Mid-South. We're not really making any money. And we're in some Mississippi town. And Mississippi is notoriously African American, and that's what the crowd was. Not, that's okay with me. And I walk in the dressing room, and there's Kamala, who is one of the top heels in the territory. He's laying on the floor with his shirt off and shorts on and no shoes. And he just laying there, I call it wallowing. He was there just wallowing around, and he turned over, and he was on top in the territory, and sticking out of his back pocket, I looked, and I said, "What is that?" He says, "They're food stamps." I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, we get food stamps." So he didn't tell them he's working in WWE, so he could go down to the local office and say, "Hey, where's my food stamps?" But he said it's for his mother, it's for this, but he had them on him. So he's taking what they were offering, and I don't really blame him, but to see the top heel of the territory with food stamps, and I'm saying, is it that bad?
See, the man said 2 or 3 times they wasn't paying him worth nothing. 'Cause he said he didn't just have to make money for himself. He had a family back there. He had to send some money back home. And he said he went off and on in that interview. It was like an interview with this guy, Hollywood Jim. And he said one night or 2 nights he'd be in the car. Then maybe a couple of days later, then he could get the hotel and split. But he said he was sleeping in the car most of the time. Even before the Taker, wrestling Hogan and Andre and all these guys, all the top dogs back then. So, about
Help with your food.
got ripped. Like the guy got
Man, Kamala
ripped
and
off.
Payoff, say, they just don't seem to go together.
Yeah, they did. They said they did the man dirty now. 'Cause I got the interview. I seen 2 interviews. He talked about that, and then like I said about the action figures and the merchandise. I said, it wasn't selling. How about that? And he brought up everything. He said he had action figure in the 80s. Then they turned around and made one in 92, he said. And then the other one, I thought it was 2010. I think he said 2005. So that's the 3rd one. He said they still get nothing. I think he said one got a couple $100, and if he was lucky, real lucky, he said 10,000. But he said he said a lot of that stuff. Some of the people told me it wasn't selling. I was like, okay, they're selling now. I tell you, 'cause they're hard to find. Collector's items. They're selling now, I bet you. Talking about they wasn't selling.